What's your name?
My name is Rebecca.
Where are you from?
I am from Germany.
Are you proud to be German?
I would say yes. I like my culture. I like where I'm from. I like the people I've met in Germany. But I wouldn't say it defines where I am. I would say German people are very trustworthy, very loyal people. They're very honest. Sometimes they can seem a little bit cold, but as soon as you get to know them, they're like the cutest people ever.
In contrast to Americans, what's the difference?
I would say for Americans, it's maybe the opposite. I feel like Americans are way more outgoing on the first glance. But it's, for me, harder to establish more long-term relationships with Americans.
What's your name?
My name's Nathan.
Are you proud to be an American?
Yes, I am proud to be American.
Why?
Wow, that is a deep question. You know, I don't know. I think America is like a country that has like a lot of opportunities, and things aren't perfect in our country, but I think there's like a lot to be thankful for here. The way that people treat each other, like, yeah, like it isn't always great, but I think a lot of the times, like, I feel like respect, and I feel like, you know, there are people who like care in this country.
What's your name?
My name is Olaf.
Where are you from, first of all?
I'm from Sweden.
Are you proud to be Swedish?
I don't know. To me, it's just a weird thing to be proud of your nationality, as it is something you do not choose. What I am proud of is to be a part of a nation that has a strong, solid, democratic, fairly equal history. But I wouldn't call that Swedishness. I would call that humanness. But yeah, proud in a sense, I guess. It's difficult. I don't really know where the pride in a nationality would come from, because I think whatever a nation is has to be constantly reinvented, readapted and reconquered. If I were a citizen of a country that has a long-standing record of, abuse against human rights, again, a history of being oppressive, repressive, violent, should I tie any unproudness to that? Should I then be able to feel a certain pride in being against all those things, but where do the connection to the nationality come from in that case?
What's your names?
Eric.
Raimundo.
What's your nationality?
I'm Mexican, yeah.
Mexican also.
Are you proud to be Mexican?
100% proud, yeah.
Really proud, man.
The culture is pretty rich. I love the food, the places in Mexico are pretty beautiful. So we got many things to be proud. We're really hard work people. So for that reason, I'm really proud to be Mexican.
Almost the same, and I think the culture is full of colors, full of flavors, full of, the gastronomy, the history. We have a very interesting history, but actually our government or the actual government is kind of rough for us as a citizens, but I think the people and the culture is what make us proud of being Mexican.
What's your name?
My name is Ben.
What's your nationality?
I'm American.
Are you proud to be American?
I feel like that's kind of like a complicated question.
It definitely is.
I think like having national pride, I don't know, there's so many like layers built up within it, and it's hard to like kind of organize my thoughts, but just being born someplace doesn't necessarily, I think like the sticky issue of having pride and where you're born is just the fact that it's completely out of your control. Just kind of having like a neutral like stance to where you're born is kind of like, I don't know, maybe the better place to be at. Because I mean, like there's a lot of messed up parts of being an American.
What are all your names?
My name is Neha.
My name is Adi. Shakti.
What's your nationality?
We are Indians. All Indians.
Yeah, all Indians.
Are you proud to be Indian?
Of course, sure. We
Where
are
should
proud
we
to be
start?
Indian.
Where
Yeah.
should we start?
The best thing about India is good food, that we have a lot of culture diversity, and India is good, full of love.
People in India are more leaning towards education right now. The math is good, computer science, all's doing great, and medical healthcare. Compared to America, it's even better, I guess.
I'm very proud to be an Indian, and the most thing that I like about India is the food. Actually, we have a great number of spices. We have a good amount of culture and diversity in India. I love it there.
It's not mixed culture. Not like America, you get foreigners from East West. It's Indian. It has its own spirituality.
Like we are very great in terms of spirituality. Actually, you can see there are a number of meditation practices. Yoga is coming from India. Ancient things like some of the scripts and all, they are also from India. That's why I think that India is rich in tradition and culture too.
The best thing about Indians is like I like the way they bond with each other and the way they care for each other and the way they love each other, and like we take everyone along ourselves. Like we are very attached to our families and we prioritize family time a lot. So yeah, that's what I love.
What's your name?
Antoine.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
South side of Chicago, yeah.
Are you proud to be American?
Yeah. I mean, like the heritage, especially for like people that look like me, like what we did for the state, the country, just basically the whole, United States of America entirely.
Right.
From just even music, food, artwork, hell, even just the way people like dress, talk, and walk nowadays, basically based off, America. Even the world copies us, so you got to think about it like that. So it's good to be like an originator.
Tell me your name again.
Adriana.
What's your nationality?
Born in Moldova, Romanian, Ukrainian parents, grew up in Canada.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this complicates things.
I would say I'm Canadian by my values.
Are you proud to be Canadian?
Yes. I lived in China for a long time, in Hong Kong. And I think when I was working there, when I said I'm Canadian, everybody just had this kind of respect almost. And I think that carried across. Whereas if I ever said I'm Moldavian, there were connotations attached to being Moldavian that kind of were negative. When I asked people, like, why does Canada have a positive connotation for you? People were saying, well, they're honest. So I think, just honesty and kind of a chilled back vibe.
Do you feel proud of your Moldavian heritage?
I can't say that I'm proud of being Moldavian because I don't truly know what it means to be Moldavian. But I pick and choose the values that I do like. So I think for a lot of Moldavians, and what I see from my extended family is, it's going to sound horrible, but the will to persevere despite all odds. I was living in Canada for a long time. That's where I did my high school and a bit of my uni. And the one thing that people knew about Moldova is that it's the saddest country in Europe. And it was so like, you ask my extent, like my cousins are in Moldova. And they're like, yeah, we're sad, but we find happiness every day. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. So I just will to persevere.
What's your name?
I'm Nathan.
What's your nationality?
Dual. I'm from Peru and American. Raised in Peru until like 13 and then American. So I'm culturally more Peruvian, but ideological wise more American.
Would you say you're proud to be American?
Yeah, I think so. At times. When I introduce myself and I want to make conversation, I say I'm from Peru. And then when I don't want to make conversation, I say I'm from the US. Because people don't have follow-up questions. When I say I'm American, they're like, ah, cool. And then I say I'm from Peru and they're like, oh my God, have you been to Machu Picchu? They want to pretend like they're more cultured. So they have a lot more conversation. We're pretty business minded in a lot of places we go. And we're like, oh, let's set up something here, set up something there. I think in the US is probably the easiest place to start a business. And that with it carries so much value because then people can realize their ambitions so much easier here. Whereas like say like we were in Nigeria, right? And I don't want to talk trash about it, but starting a business there is so complicated. There you need to go through a lot of hoops and barriers and things like that. And if people have ambitions, then just starting a business, even though you're not a business person, you want to set up your jewelry store because you love jewelry. You're not gonna be able to set it up. Good luck. You're gonna have to go through so many hoops and barriers. But here it's so easy. You just go online, fill up a few forms, 5 minutes, you set up, so you can finally go and realize your ambitions, right? I think that's super valuable. That's kind of the American dream, and it's so alive.
What's your name?
My name is David.
What's your nationality?
Yeah, I'm an American citizen. I was born in Los Angeles. I spent most of my life in upstate New York.
Are you proud to be American?
Not particularly. I think this is a country that inflicts massive amounts of pain and suffering upon people around the world. I don't really particularly identify with the concept of being proud of a nation. I feel like that's such an abstraction. We're so often encouraged to take pride in something that's much bigger than any of us, but in the process of that, we're led to ignore the kinds of violence, suffering, and pain that our actions contribute to and that the society we live in contributes to, and I think thinking beyond that framework can help us resolve some of these issues.